Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and as you can see, we're here in my garage on a very cold winter's day. It's actually it was -7 last night. That's -7 Celsius, so -7 is 7 degrees below freezing for us, so that's pretty cold. And I decided I've used this for some commercial work. You've seen a few videos if you've been watching my channel of me using this machine. It's a great machine, love it, excellent for the purpose that I purchased it for, which is primarily commercial and wood floor cleaning, which hopefully I'll be doing more in the future soon. But I did not intend to use it or expect to use it much for residential because I've done videos where I've explained why I don't think that OP is the ideal machine for residential. And I did a job just last week using the machine, fairly open living room, dining room, went down a hall, 4 bedrooms, including a master bedroom, and it once again just reminded me why I prefer not to use the OP machine, as far as it being a little more awkward to maneuver. Now, because it's a wheels down machine, you're mostly going to be going back and forth. You can lift the wheels and kind of go sideways a little bit, although it's not as convenient that way. And although there are wheels up machines, it certainly isn't as easy to maneuver around as a rotary machine, which goes left and right and forward and back with virtually no effort at all, and they're much more nimble. So for residential work, I prefer them for that reason. Plus, there's no difference as far as cleaning performance as long as you know how to use a rotary to its full potential. And as far as speed goes, depending on the carpet, sometimes the OP is faster, sometimes the rotary is faster, and at the end of the day, even if the OP was faster, it's not going to be very much faster. I'm certainly not going to be able to do an extra job in a day just because I'm using an OP. And it, so it, and I have the Orbot. It's still sitting over there in pieces because I've got the bottom plate in getting powder coated, and they haven't finished it yet. They have a couple of pieces there for me, and they're just going to fit it into their schedule. I'm not in a hurry anyway, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, but there was one thing that I immediately noticed about this machine when I was using it on the commercial job. I realized right away that I would have a problem, as it were, using it for residential. And when I did it on the residential carpet, I certainly noticed it right away. And that is that the volume of solution that comes out of those jets is significantly higher than the volume of solution I typically apply to a carpet when I'm cleaning. And so after I finished the living room, dining room, I put my hand down and felt the carpet, and there's no way in the world I was going to be able to post vacuum that carpet. It was definitely way wetter than I would normally get. So, and I noticed when I got the machine, I thought it's odd that although the Orbot had one of these on it, and I think most OPs do, this machine didn't have a inline shutoff valve. And the reason that a shutoff valve is great is for a couple of reasons. And one is when you park this machine, if you've got solution in the tank and you have it just sitting there, it can, and it will, and it did for me, siphon past the pump, and it was dribbling where it was sitting in the van. And it took me a couple of days to realize what was happening, and I realized, oh, it's just there's no shutoff valve, so it can, once it starts to siphon, it'll keep siphoning until it empties your tank. So a shutoff valve is definitely something you want. So I went over to a local hose supply company, and this is the snap and click, or whatever they call those lines. And I went over there and I got this nice little shutoff valve. So I'm not sure if I'm going to mount it in here, or I might put it behind here. It'll be out of the way there. Anyway, and one of the the advantages this will give me is, and I do this on my Orbotech machine, which is what I usually use for commercial work, but I can have it, I can shut it off, or I can increase the flow to full flow depending on what I'm cleaning. But when I'm using with my Orbotech, I normally have it probably around about there. So I'm almost 50% decreased in volume. And the reason why you want to do that is the only time you really need to have the full flow is if you're in a carpet where you can move at the maximum speed. And if you're on a carpet where you need to slow down and let the machine work more, every time you pull that trigger and apply a solution, if you are putting the same amount of solution on like this, full flow, in an area where you're slowing down, you're actually going to get that carpet a lot wetter. But if you decrease your flow, you can still work the carpet, but as you apply your solution, you're not over-wetting the carpet or potentially over-wetting the carpet. And I really did notice that on that residential carpet, that as I expected, that the amount of solution coming out of the jets on the front of the machine was far higher than I would typically use when I'm cleaning residential carpet. So wet that I knew right away when I put my hand on the carpet that it was too wet to post vacuum, which is what I normally do. So just bear that in mind if you have one of these machines. If it doesn't come with the shutoff valve, you can, they're not, I think it cost me 22 bucks or something like that for this. Wasn't very expensive. Easy to put in the place. All you do is have to cut the line and just push the line in there, and the collar will lock it in place, and easy thing to do, and it just gives you a greater control. Plus, it gives you the ability to shut that line down so that you won't have solution bleeding out of your tank. I have this on all of my machines, including my rotaries, just to make sure that if the valve in the tank, for the gravity feed, if something got jammed in the valve, it could dribble down onto the floor or wherever and cause a problem. So putting a shutoff valve is a really good idea, no matter what machine you're using, and they're not expensive. So anyway, I'll just figure out where the best place is to put this. I'm actually thinking it's better back here because it would be completely out of the way. If I put it over here, well, it would work, I guess, but I'll figure it out. I'm just a little bit concerned about when I flip the head up, it'll be a bit of a problem. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm actually, this is was it Wednesday today? I took the day off because I can. And but tomorrow I'm back in the saddle, as it were. No fun cleaning carpets in the snow anyway, but it's doable, and at least I don't have to be concerned about hoses lying in the snow with the VLM system that I'm using. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the Vibe. That was the only thing other than maybe putting a light on it, which I would eventually do. Mount it right on the front there of the tank, I think. And there's a powered plug right there, so I can plug the transformer in right there. So it should work just fine. But when I do that, I'll do another video showing how I do that. So anyway, I'm not expecting to use this for residential carpet cleaning. There's no need to use it because my rotaries work perfectly well, and it's just so much more convenient and nimble, easy to use, and simple and reliable. But this will be probably my number one commercial carpet cleaning machine. I'll be using the Orbotech less and less, and I plan to sell the Orbot. So anyway, I'll let you with the Orbot. This is an Orbot Vibe, but I have the original Orbot, which is the blue one, which has the folding handle and the cartridge system, which I don't like. But I mean, it's a nice machine. See, this one came. Can you see that? There's the shutoff valve. That's the way it came. So I was a little surprised. At least I think it did. Pretty sure it came with that. Maybe I put that on there. I don't remember. It's been so long since I did that. Anyway, I'll let you go. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.